For example, there was a recent hearing by Supreme Court of the Article 370. तो एक दिन हम लोग 20 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे, 18 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे, 19 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे. So ये 2-3 दिन तक चलेगा. तीसरे दिन will be drained out of all energy and excitement. फिर हम लोग पढ़ना छोड़ देंगे. Line was, I read, I forget. I read, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. But at the same time, it's not going to be difficult. If I stay consistent, I'm going to get...
I'm a good son. Please remember my famous quotation: a bad son can never be a good father, a bad student can never be a good teacher, and a bad soldier can never be a good general. He was talking about marathons. I would like to show here the medals that I won in marathons. I've nearly ran some 100 marathons. ये 12 घंटा हर एक दिन मैं अपने लिए दूंगा. फेसबुक हमारे पास अच्छा फेस है, हमारे साथ में बुक है, हमारी फेसबुक की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Missions in the CRPF, Kashmir is one of the best jobs that I did in my life in policing.
कि जहां रहेगा वहीं रोशनी लुटाएगा, किसी भी चिराग का अपना मकान नहीं होता. Civil service exam is mother of all the examinations, and mother is always the simplest most person in life, right? Most adorable and easy to be understood. But after preparing for this mother of all the examination, believe me that you will be able to purchase those vehicles, many vehicles at your own, of your hard-earned money, and also very good circle that cannot be purchased, very good mentality that cannot be purchased, very good values, a countrymanship that cannot be purchased.
मैं चंद्रशेखर आजाद की परम भक्त हूं, मैं भगत सिंह की परम भक्त हूं, अशफाक उल्लाह खान की परम भक्त हूं. अशफाक उल्लाह खान मेमोरियल क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट मैंने कश्मीर में करवाई. मैं जानता हूं कश्मीर की आम स्टूडेंट्स मेरा सामने जो रहा है, मेरे चिल्ड्रन लाइक my sons and daughters, they will do very very well in life.
We'll be roping in companies and agencies and organizations like Analyst IAS who have made up a mark for themselves in this field, who have a good team of reputed, renowned experts.
Dear students, as they say, no career counselor or internship your career if you don't have an aim, a purpose, and passion for what you want to do in life. In this webinar, we have a galaxy of learned speakers to deliver on the theme. Consequently, without further ado, I, with deepest regards and respect, would request our principal sir to kindly express his introductory remarks about the webinar and formally welcome the guests.
And Assalamu alaikum to all. I wholeheartedly welcome all the respected dignitaries, including the chief guest and the speaker of the event, Mr Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan, IAS Commissioner SMC, CEO Srinagar Smart City and CEO Srinagar Development Authority, Dr. BN Ramesh, IPS, ex-DGP, faculty and panelist, Analyst IAS. Special guest, Mr. Nitin Shivhare, CMD Analyst, faculty and panelist. Director of Center for Career Planning and Counselling, University of Kashmir. Dr. Altaf Sanpara, Coordinator, Integrated History, Cluster University, Srinagar. Coordinator, Career Counselling, Government Degree College, Bemina, Dr. Abida Akhtar. Dr. Ashfaq Ali, Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, Government Degree College, Bemina. And all the students who form the very base and soul of this webinar. Dear students, career counseling is crucial for students as it provides valuable guidance in aligning their skills, interests, aspirations with suitable career paths. It helps them to make informed decisions about their academic and professional journey, ensuring a more fulfilling and successful future. Through assessments and discussions, Counselors can identify the strengths and weakness of the students and help them to work according to their potential and specialization. Additionally, career counseling fosters self-awareness, helping students understand their values and priorities. This process helps them in setting goals and develop a career roadmap for achieving them. By addressing these doubts and concerns, counselors empower the students to make confident choices and help them in reducing their career-related stress and dissatisfaction. In the light of this vision, our institution has established a focused committee for career counseling. We do provide space and opportunities for the students to interact, discuss, understand, and plan for their future. This program, initiated by the Career Counseling Center of University of Kashmir, is a part of the vision we have incorporated in the routine process of our institution. Personally, as a head of the institution, I always consider it as my responsibility to ensure that students must have access to the resource persons from within and outside the college. Without giving it a second thought, our institution always welcomes any initiative for students, guidance, and support regarding their career. Not only in public sector, our institution encourages students to develop knowledge and skills for better opportunities in private sector as well. The courses like BCom, MCom, BBA, IMBA are the highlights of our institution in this regard. We have well-qualified team who always on their toes to help students and guide them for their career options besides the routine classes to share knowledge. The purpose of organizing this program is not only to help you make the decisions you need to make now, but to give you the knowledge and skill you need to make a career and major decisions of your life. I, on behalf of myself, Government Degree College Bemina, and organizing team of the college, extend a very warm welcome to revered speakers. I hope this program proves to be big success in helping our students shaping their career. I extend my sincere thanks to Vice Chancellor and Professor Gir Mohammad Isaac of Kashmir University for this initiative and opportunity for our students. I again welcome all the distinguished speakers and our students who are the ambassadors of our institute.
Thank you, Principal Bemina College, Professor Dr. Nazir. Myself, Nitin Shivhare. Before I start my talk today, first of all, apology to the students that many of the students are not able to join because of some of the technical error in this session. But very soon we will be trying to meet you in person, and it was actually scheduled that way. And I would like to thank, first of all, one of my senior student also, and the SMC Commissioner, Vice Chairman and Administrator in Srinagar, Mr. Athar Amir. And through him, I was making my way to this Bemina College and to you guys, my students, through VC, Professor Nilofa Khan, and Professor Gir of CCPC, and then to Principal Sir. And I'm passing my special thank for the special appearance from the veteran and senior person, Dr. BN Ramesh, ex-DGP, and he had 3 PhDs and an LD also, an IITN and an IIM person, and an untiring teacher at heart. So this is one thing. Now, my take for the students from the Valley is a very special, because since like 2015, I was guiding them as a teacher, and I found kind of unique intellect in them, but devoid of exposure. Right? What is so special in Delhi and in the other part of the country that they are not knowing? So this is the opportunity today that I would like to share. And this counseling session is for the civil service exam. Maybe the other exam also you are aiming for, but why this civil service that you must know? I need to tell you one thing that I like to take for more 5 minutes, then I'll be handing over this baton to Mr. Athar Amir. Civil service exam is mother of all the examinations, and mother is always the simplest, most person in life, right? Most adorable and easy to be understood. If you prepare for civil services examination, labor never goes in vain. This is one thing. But preparing for this exam, you become a civil servant or not, but the level of frame that you are having in your mind, I hope this English is only not the option. I may use English so other students are also comfortable. So जब आप सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी करते हैं तो 1 year 2 year आप जरूर इसमें देते हैं, बट आफ्टर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज आपका जो फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस है, आपका जो मेंटल लेवल है, आपके जो लाइफ स्टाइल है, इट इज मोर what you are. So the persona and personality is bigger, whatever you do. And also after, having the graduation degree or maybe in PG, there are many career options. Many people are very sure that हमको, engineer बनना है या doctor बनना है या private sector में जाना है. I tell you one thing, the product is bread and butter for family people, for us. But there are many ways. But the satisfaction and the contentment in life is also something very, very important. So this civil service preparation is one of the means to win bread and butter for your family, but to do something good for the nation also, right? So now if I need to tell you for civil services examination का जो preparation है, वो दूसरे लोगों से सुन के बड़ा डर लगता है कि there are many books to be studied. और बहुत सारा तैयारी करना है, बहुत सारे लोगों को सुनना है, and then success ratio is also very low. I tell you that the NCERT books from class 6 to 12 that you might have already read, or some other boards book which are of same level, then the newspaper that you might be seeing at your home, this is somewhat 60% of story of the civil services preparation. Then the graduation honors, if you are having the optional like political science, history, geography, or whatever subject you had in your graduation, that level is sufficient. So that way you are very much familiar with the kind of content which you need to cover in this preparation. So I will say that investing this time and energy for 1 year or so, I feel that one must look for it. Why I'm saying so? After passing class 12th, आपने अपने मदर फादर को पूछा कि हमको एक बाइक दे दीजिए या कार दे दीजिए, जिसमें 1 to 2 लाख रुपीस का इन्वेस्टमेंट था. फिर ग्रेजुएशन में भी यू मस्ट बी वांटिंग दैट वी शुड हैव 1 कार और 1 बाइक. दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द हम्बल बैकग्राउंड स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो, एंड in the young age, these are the dreams that ऐसा होना चाहिए, because colleagues के पास भी होता है. In that bike or car, the investment is 2 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees. For that, you need to petrol, diesel, and there are chances that some, for God's sake, this should not happen, कि उसका थोड़ा सा accident भी हो जाए, कहीं चोट लग जाए, वो गाड़ी चोरी भी हो सकती है. Now, preparing for this examination, maybe you will be investing this much of money, and you may understand one thing, that आपका जितना भी investment इसमें preparation में लगा, it was equal to the vehicle that you purchased. But after preparing for this mother of all the examination, believe me that you will be able to purchase those vehicles, many vehicles at your own, of your hard-earned money, and also very good circle. that cannot be purchased. Very good mentality that cannot be purchased. Very good values, a countrymanship that cannot be purchased. This is actually need of the hour. So I will say, rather than going for those choices that हमारे पास कुछ ऐसी चीजें होनी चाहिए that our colleagues are having, you must invest in something that is there with you for whole life. And after that, you are sufficient at your own to do things. I'll be coming again to talk to you. But before that, I would like to request Mr. Athar Amir to just take over from me to speak. And I think Dr. BN Ramesh is also there with us. He will also be there. So just...
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much to University of Kashmir, Degree College, Bemina, and Nitin ji, Analyst IAS, and all the organizers of this webinar for inviting me and giving me a little bit of time to share some of my experiences with the young colleagues, with the young friends who are preparing for the IAS. Thank you so much. I have been kind of planning this for a long time, which my time mila nahi because of so much of preoccupation in the current assignments, but I always wanted to take out some time and maybe share some of my experience with the so what I'll do is maybe I'll in next 5, 10 or 15 minutes I'll share some of the important points, important aspects that I think may be useful to aspirants in general from the exam preparation point of view. And after that, maybe some of the students can ask some questions, and probably that may be of more importance and more use to you. First of all, we used to understand, and we used to learn about this difference between a marathon and a sprint. So sprint is a 100-meter race or a 200-meter race in which you run very fast. And the objective is you have to reach there in the shortest possible time. And when it's a marathon is you have to go for, say, 40, 42 kilometers, half marathon, you go for 20, 21 kilometers. Here, the idea is not you have to run so fast or start very fast. It is that you have to slow and steadily, you have to consistently complete the marathon. And I think the preparation for this exam is very similar to that. It takes time. It is not something that can be done instantly. It is not difficult at the same time. You don't have to do aerobics. It's not rocket science. It is very simple. It is very easy, but it requires consistency. So that's something, that's probably the starting point that an aspirant should have in his or her mind when he or she starts for the preparation, that the exam syllabus is quite huge. Virtually almost everything that we study in school, that we study in college, that we know about anything around us, whether it's economy, whether it is science, whether it is geography, whether it is history, whether it is culture, whether it is art, whether it is our day-to-day current affairs, everything falls within the syllabus or within your scheme of things. So it is very huge. But at the same time, it's not difficult. You don't have to solve very, I would say, complex differential equations. You don't have to solve, I would say, questions of mathematics as you do in IIT JEE. It's not that. It's very simple. It's very easy. So it is easy, but the quantum and the volume is huge. So sometimes what some of the aspirants do, they think that हम 2 महीने में पढ़ के खत्म करेंगे. मैं ऑप्शनल जी 1 महीने में खत्म कर लूंगा, जीएस में 2 महीने में खत्म करूंगा, तीसरे महीने में एग्जाम दे दूंगा. That's something which doesn't work, which one should refrain from. And when one starts for preparing for this examination, he should start with this mindset that it's going to take me a year and a half to prepare for this exam. But at the same time, it's not going to be difficult. If I stay consistent, I'm going to get through it. So one is about this mindset of staying in the game for a long haul, rather than looking for a shortcut, rather than looking for something that could be accomplished in a shorter span of time. Yeah. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. थोड़ा सा इसमें ये सोच के चलना है कि मुझे इसमें टाइम लगेगा, इसमें साल 1.5 साल मुझे अच्छे से देना है और जल्दबाजी में नहीं करनी है. That is A. B, जो मुझे अगेन दिस फ्लोज फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट पार्ट इटसेल्फ, दैट इज कंसिस्टेंसी. अक्सर हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हमने वेबिनार लिया, हमने पढ़ाई शुरू करी, तो एक दिन हम लोग 20 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे, 18 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे, 19 घंटे पढ़ाई करेंगे. सो ये 2-3 दिन तक चलेगा. तीसरे दिन विल बी ड्रेन्ड आउट ऑफ ऑल एनर्जी एंड एक्साइटमेंट. फिर हम लोग पढ़ना छोड़ देते हैं. So you don't have to study 18 hours or 20 hours a day or 19 hours a day. Whatever time you are able to take out, अगर आप कॉलेज में हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी में हैं, वहां से जितना भी टाइम आप निकाल पाते हैं, you take out that time. या अगर आप फुल टाइम कर रहे हैं, you take out 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours from a day and ensure that you study and you maintain that number of hours throughout the year. इसको कभी भी फ्लक्चुएट नहीं करना है. कभी आपने 20 घंटे पढ़ा फिर पढ़ा ही नहीं. यू हैव टू मेंटेन दैट कंसिस्टेंसी इन टर्म्स ऑफ द टाइम दैट यू गिव एवरी डे. थर्ड is the planning for the exam. Now, planning for the preparation. Now, what do I mean by planning for preparation? Is that you have to understand, आपको एक अच्छा सा टाइम टेबल बनाना है, आपको एक अच्छा सा एक स्टडी प्लान बनाना है. अगर प्रीलिम्स है, अगर मेंस है, या सो उसमें वी ऑल नो प्रीलिम्स में हमारे क्या क्या सिलेबस होता है. जो एग्जाम का सिलेबस है, अगर आप सबसे पहले एग्जाम का सिलेबस ही देखेंगे, दैट गिव्स यू अ डीप इनसाइट अबाउट प्रीलिम्स में कौन कौन सी चीजें पूछी जाती हैं, मेंस में कौन कौन से पेपर्स हैं, उस पेपर 1 में क्या है, पेपर 2 में क्या है, उसको अपने आप को अच्छे से फेमिलराइज करना है with the exam syllabus, and then we have to kind of convert that exam syllabus into a timetable and a study schedule for yourself. Exam syllabus again is extremely important. इससे एग्जाम हमारे लिए जो है एग्जाम डीमिस्टिफाई भी हो जाता है. It gets demystified. At the same time, it also gives us an idea of how much we have to study, how do we plan our preparation. तीसरी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज इस एग्जाम सिलेबस से ये भी होता है, we are able to do a little bit of smart work. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप मेंस का सिलेबस देखते हैं, मेंस के फर्स्ट सिलेबस के फर्स्ट पेपर में देयर इज अ सर्टेन पोर्शन, या जिसको हम कहते हैं सोशल इश्यूज, इज वन पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस. फिर जब हम पेपर नेक्स्ट पेपर देखते हैं, पेपर 2 वी हैव सोशल जस्टिस एज अनदर सेगमेंट इन द एग्जाम, another segment in that paper. So both of these are kind of interrelated. एक में प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस करते हैं, दूसरे में हम सॉल्यूशन डिस्कस करते हैं. और अगर हम दोनों चीजों को देखें, जो हमारा एथिक्स का पेपर होता है पेपर 4, उसमें यू कैन यूज whatever you have studied in paper 1 and paper 2, you can use that in lot many places in your paper 4. सिमिलरली एसए का पेपर होता है, तो जो आपने पेपर 1, 2, 3 में पढ़ा होता है, 4 में पढ़ा होता है, that becomes a content for you in your essay paper. So the advice is that in a way the exam syllabus becomes a starting point of view for you. खुद एग्जाम सिलेबस को अच्छे से पढ़ें, अच्छे से देख लें. प्रॉब्ली अगर कोई चीज एक रट्टा मारने की जरूरत है इस एग्जाम में, वो एग्जाम का सिलेबस है, उससे आपके लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा. इट विल बिकम वेरी इजी फॉर यू. इसी एग्जाम सिलेबस के साथ हमारे ओल्ड पेपर्स होते हैं, जो प्रीलिम्स के लिए पेपर्स आते हैं, मेंस के लिए पेपर्स आते हैं. उन पेपर्स को, उनकी बुकलेट्स भी आती हैं, चैप्टर वाइज बुकलेट्स भी आती हैं, फुल लेंथ पेपर्स भी आते हैं. वो बुकलेट्स भी आपके साथ में होनी चाहिए. इवन बिफोर यू हैव started your preparation, even while you are preparing, you should definitely use these old papers to understand what the demand of the exam is, what the demand or the pattern of the exam. उससे वो बड़ा आसान आपके लिए हो जाएगा. फिर एग्जाम सिलेबस के बाद जब हम टाइम टेबल की बात करते हैं, टाइम टेबल इसलिए बड़ा जरूरी होता है. अक्सर हम लोग स्ट्रगल करते हैं इन द सेंस दैट कभी हमने पढ़ाई 8 बजे शुरू करी, किसी दिन हमने 12 बजे शुरू करी. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू रूटीनाइज सम ऑफ द थिंग्स while we are preparing. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मैं अपनी आपको एग्जाम्पल दे देता हूँ. एग्जाम में हम न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हैं. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना बहुत ही, मेरा मानना है, इट इज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स फॉर द एग्जाम. सो कोई भी आप हिंदू पढ़ें या इंडियन एक्सप्रेस पढ़ें, विच एवर न्यूज़पेपर, नेशनल डेली यू आर रीडिंग, यू हैव टू रीड इट. नाउ न्यूज़पेपर ऐसी चीज है, ये नॉट एवरीबडी इज कंफर्टेबल रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर एवरी डे. So what I used to do is I used to read newspaper every day at 7 a.m. in the morning. So 7 से लेकर 9 बजे तक मैं newspaper पढ़ता था. I would make note of the important things also from the newspaper, and I would do it every day. So after a month, after 15 days, 20 days, this became a habit कि 7 बजे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. Similarly, daily I had taken out some time कि मैं 4 बजे के बाद I would practice the questions, जो पुरानी old papers की practice करता था. So that would again be, I had made a habit. 4 o'clock I have to do the answer question practice. So when you routinize some of these things in your timetable, ठीक है, it becomes very easy to follow. आपका subconscious mind naturally उसके लिए geared up होता है, ready होता है कि मुझे 7 बजे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है, मुझे 8 बजे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है. इसके कंपैरिजन में अगर आपका कोई ऐसा routinized pattern नहीं होता है, so then what happens is आप सुबह एक दिन न्यूज़पेपर 8 बजे पढ़ोगे, अगले दिन आप 12 बजे पढ़ोगे, फिर कहोगे मैं शाम को पढ़ लूंगा, फिर आप कहोगे कि कल पढ़ लूंगा. You will never be able to read that newspaper. वो सारी चीजें unstructured होती हैं. So टाइम टेबल आप बनाएं, वट एवर टाइम इज अवेलेबल विथ यू. अगर आप कॉलेज जाते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली आप पोस्ट कॉलेज टाइम, सैटरडे संडेज यू मस्ट हैव प्री विथ यू. उसमें आप अच्छे से प्लान कर सकते हैं. इफ यू हैव डन योर कॉलेज देन यू कैन maybe do it full time throughout the day, but make sure that you have a very realistic timetable. You have a structured timetable in which some of these things have been routinized, जिसमें आपको दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है कि मुझे आज हिस्ट्री पढ़नी है कि ज्योग्राफी पढ़नी है, मुझे आंसर राइटिंग कब करनी है. इट शुड बी ऑलरेडी पार्ट ऑफ योर रेगुलर हैबिट, रेगुलर प्लान्स. एट द सेम टाइम दिस टाइम टेबल हैज टू बी रियलिस्टिक. Now realistic timetable का मतलब वो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता you can work non-stop or study non-stop for 10 hours. You need to take breaks. You need to give time for yourself to have lunch, to have a cup of tea, to go outside, do a bit of exercise, to do something else. So वो सब काम भी करने हैं. तो इस टाइम टेबल को एक रियलिस्टिक टाइम टेबल जो आप फॉलो कर सके उस हिसाब से बनाएं. अदरवाइज टाइम टेबल ऐसे बनता है कि वो कभी फिर जिंदगी में फॉलो नहीं होता है. दैट इज समथिंग दैट शुड नॉट बी डन. So to summarize these 5 points till now, 1, you should be ready for a long haul. Understand this thing in mind कि ये 2 महीने 3 महीने का काम नहीं है, ये साल 1.5 साल लगेगा. 2 साल भी लग सकते हैं, 2.5 साल भी लग सकते हैं, 3 साल भी लग सकते हैं. It's a long marathon. A. B, it is extremely important to remain consistent. किसी दिन हमारा motivation level high होता है, किसी दिन motivation level low होता है. Irrespective of that, you have to ensure आप daily अगर 6 घंटे निकालते हैं, you study those 6 hours. So consistency is again important. That's point number 2. Third, familiarize yourself through the exam syllabus and old papers. इनको देख के अपने आप को एग्जाम के लिए को डिमिस्टिफाई करें. बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है. It is very simple. It is very easy. Only thing is it requires that patience and dedication. Fourth, make a timetable. When you're making a timetable, routinize some of the things in your timetable. आप हर चीज को routinize नहीं कर सकते. Maybe it will be at your discretion, at your ease. आप किस दिन कौन सा subject पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन at least जो आपका newspapers है, at least जो आपके answer writing है, उसको आप जरूर routinize करें. उसको आप अपने timetable में इस तरीके से fit in करें that you don't have to apply mind, you don't have to exert your mind with respect to that. Fifth, जो भी आप टाइम टेबल प्लान करेंगे इसको रियलिस्टिक बनाना है. इसको हवा में नहीं बनाना है कि मैं नॉन स्टॉप सुबह से लेकर रात तक बस 2 दिन में IAS बनना है. वो चीज नहीं होगा. मेक अ रियलिस्टिक टाइम टेबल. Then we come to so this was kind of more of a general few points which I think a person should definitely keep in mind. इसके beyond there are some I would say important quick tips that are important. One is the study material. हम लोग अक्सर स्ट्रगल करते हैं. मार्केट में जाएंगे, there are hundreds of books, magazines देखेंगे, करंट अफेयर्स के देखेंगे, किसी भी स्टैंड में चले जाओ, you find hundreds of different magazines there. तो एक डाउट रहता है कौन सी बुक्स में पढ़ूंगा. जैसे नितिन जी ने अभी आपको बता दिया, फॉर एग्जाम्पल NCERT is the basics where from we start. Why is that basic? That is basic because NCERT हमने स्कूल में ऑलरेडी पढ़ा होता है. वहां से शुरू करना बड़ा आसान हो जाता है. It is the easiest step to begin with. और दिस इज ऑल्सो अ फैक्ट कि एग्जाम में काफी सारे क्वेश्चन या इनफैक्ट अक्सर क्वेश्चन वो होते हैं जो आपके एनसीईआरटीज में डायरेक्टली होते हैं. So factually also it covers a lot of your syllabus. Plus क्योंकि कॉलेज में होते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी में होते हैं, हम लोगों ने कुछ और सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े होते हैं, किसी ने इंजीनियरिंग करी होती है, किसी ने मेडिसिन पढ़ा होता है, किसी ने और चीज पढ़ी होती है. दिस एनसीईआरटी becomes an easy way of reinitiating ourselves back into the syllabus, back into the preparation for the exam. इसको जरूर पढ़ें. ल्यूसिड होता है, बड़ा easy to understand, simple to understand, language का issue बहुत ज्यादा नहीं आता है as far as NCERT is concerned. So NCERT book से शुरू करें. Read my senses from 8th to 12th. जो NCERT books हैं, they are useful. उनको आप अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिए, especially your history, your geography. इसी तरीके से जो हमारी पॉलिटी की रहती हैं, या इनफैक्ट साइंस रिलेटेड जो हमारी एनसीईआरटी बुक्स हैं, दे आर वेरी यूजफुल. इकोनॉमी की फॉर एग्जांपल एनसीईआरटी 11th और 12th की आप अगर पढ़ते हैं, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स एंड मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स, दे आर यूजफुल. सो जो आर्ट एंड कल्चर के लिए अगेन एनसीईआरटी बुक्स आर वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल. सो एनसीईआरटी बुक शुड बी द फर्स्ट must material that you have. So when you are done with your NCERTs, then you can also parallelly or maybe subsequently you can get some of the books. There are some standard books jo in fact every aspirant in Delhi, every aspirant anywhere else, he gets those books. वो पढ़ते हैं हम लोग. पॉलिटी के लिए लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ते हैं हम लोग. हिस्ट्री के लिए स्पेक्ट्रम या विपिन चंद्रा's बुक्स पढ़ते हैं. इसी तरीके से जो ज्योग्राफी की जीसी लियोंग है, या ज्योग्राफी में माजिद हुसैन या दूसरी बुक्स हैं, तो वो स्टैंडर्ड बुक लिस्ट मुझे लगता है नितिन जी विल आल्सो शेयर दैट बुक लिस्ट. मे बी इट विल बी हेल्पफुल इफ यू कैन शेयर दैट बुक लिस्ट विद यू सेपरेटली आल्सो. दैट्स अ स्टैंडर्ड बुक लिस्ट. यू कैन फाइंड इट विद on website also, or on, I would say, anywhere on the web also. दो स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स आपको लानी है, एंड देन यू हैव टू स्टार्ट विद देम. मीनवाइल व्हाट विल आल्सो हैपन इज, कई बार आपको लगेगा किसी बुक में या किसी सब्जेक्ट में देयर आर सम थिंग्स व्हिच आर मिसिंग, कि कोई पर्टिकुलर पोर्शन आपको अच्छे से समझ नहीं आता है. यू कैन ऑलवेज सप्लीमेंट दैट विद सम मटेरियल फ्रॉम अ कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट, और सम मटेरियल फ्रॉम ऑनलाइन पोर्टल, और सम एडिशनल बुक दैट वुड बी एट योर डिस्क्रिप्शन, टू एंश्योर दैट आपके दिमाग में भी, आपके माइंड में भी दैट सेंस ऑफ कंप्लीशन कम्स एज फार एज द स्टडी मटेरियल इज कंसर्न्ड. इसी के साथ व्हेन वी कम टू करंट अफेयर्स में, एज आई टोल्ड यू, न्यूज़पेपर आई फाइंड इज एक्सट्रीमली द की. न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, दो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु डिफर विद दिस व्यू. माय सेंस इज न्यूज़पेपर एंड वन सोर्स ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स. वो आप किसी कोचिंग का भी कोई करंट अफेयर्स मैनुअल ले सकते हैं, वो आप जो मार्केट में जाते हैं वहां से जो दृष्टि, क्रॉनिकल या कोई सा भी उनमें से एक मैगजीन ले सकते हैं. हैव वन सोर्स ऑफ करंट अफेयर्स फ्रॉम द which is as a magazine, which is as a monthly supplement, and a newspaper. Two of them form a very strong and deadly combination for cracking the current affairs. I'll tell you why. जो आप मैगजीन लेते हैं या मंथली सप्लीमेंट लेते हैं, इसमें it has the gist of all the major important issues that have come in the past month. वो जो लोग ये monthly magazines भी बनाते हैं, they use the same sources, newspapers, other magazines, other old material, etc. to compile this. So इससे क्या होता है, this magazine make sure that you have everything in a gist format with you. This you can revise regularly. So it is a must. Then the question is, why a newspaper? Newspaper, for example, if you read newspaper 30 days newspaper, a magazine can never be equivalent to reading 30 newspapers. 30 newspapers will always have more information than one monthly newspaper, if you look at the quantitative terms only. Similarly, there are a lot of things that these magazines or monthly supplements will definitely miss, which might there be in the newspaper. So that is reason number one. Reason number two is, when you're reading newspaper every day, you track the news, you track any issue, just like, a movie. It's happening in front of your eyes. You become witness to it. So, for example, there was a recent hearing by Supreme Court of the Article 370. Now, if you had seen or read about the whole discussions that were going on in the Supreme Court for past so many months, by now you would have grasped each and every aspect of the issue. आपको वो रट्टा लगाने की जरूरत नहीं थी. It is not, you don't have to read it like a chapter. This is something that has happened in front of you. So आपको वो चीजें दिमाग में बिठाने में, उसको अंडरस्टैंड करने में आसानी होती है, जब आप उस न्यूज़पेपर को कंटिन्यूसली, अगर आपने 6 महीने पढ़ा होगा, यू मस्ट हैव फॉलोड द इशू फॉर द 6 months. कभी बेसिक आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आए होंगे, कभी आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन फेवर, कभी आर्ग्यूमेंट्स इन अगेंस्ट आए होंगे, कभी ऑब्जर्वेशंस आई होंगी, फाइनली जजमेंट आई है, जजमेंट का डिटेल, जजमेंट का रैशनल एंड लॉजिक आया है. सो व्हेन यू हैव रेड द न्यूज़पेपर फॉर पास्ट 6 months, आपको किसी भी चीज, उसको रट्टा लगाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. यू बिकम पार्ट ऑफ दिस, यू बिकम विटनेस टू दिस. It's like I can explain it this with one example. There used to be something called Indian Science Congress, जो हम स्कूल के टाइम में we used to go for that, and it had a beautiful tagline. The tagline was, I read, I forget. I read, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. So that is the difference between reading a newspaper and reading a magazine. When you read a newspaper, you're literally seeing it. You're literally, in a way, being part of it. So you're able to remember as well, and most likely understand as well. When you are just reading it through a magazine, a particular issue, there is high likelihood that it will come out of your mind. You'll not be able to relate to it much. So that is point one. Similarly, what I used to do is, for newspapers, I would read newspaper every day at 7 a.m. irrespective of whatever happens. वो न्यूज़पेपर के मैं नोट्स बनाता था, and notes I would make on plain loose sheets. So loose sheets, then I had made a file जिसपे मैंने ये loose sheets रखे थे, not on a regular notebook. Now, what happens on a regular notebook? Say if you have a regular notebook, and today, say you are tracking this challenge to abrogation of Article 370 in Supreme Court. Now, something happened on day 1. So you have noted it down on page number 1. फिर इसके बाद something came in the news again after 5 days. Naturally, you will note it down on a 5th page. Similarly, जब आगे डिस्कशन चलता गया, so पूरा जो आपका मटेरियल होगा इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक के बारे में, जो आपने 6 महीने पढ़ा होगा, ये बिखरा रहेगा पूरे नोटबुक में आपके. So if you have to revise this one topic, you will have to revise the entire notebook. इसके कंपैरिजन में, if you doing it on a loose sheets, say for example something India US relations के बारे में आज कुछ न्यूज़पेपर में आया है, you noted it down on one loose sheet, you kept it in your IR part. After a month, something else is again in the newspaper related to India-US relations. Maybe Prime Minister of India visited US, or somebody from US visited India. Some agreements were signed or something else. So you can note it down on another loose sheet of paper, and then you can place that next to the first one. इसका मतलब क्या होगा, आपके पास वो, इसको सॉर्टिंग भी आप साथ साथ में कर सकते हो टॉपिक वाइज. सो जब आपने 1 साल या 6 महीने न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा होगा, जो आपके पास नोट्स होंगे वो आपके पास टॉपिक वाइज सेग्रीगेटेड नोट्स होंगे. आप इकोनॉमी के सेक्शंस आप जो है पढ़ना चाहते हैं, यू कैन जस्ट रीड दैट पोर्शंस. आप पॉलिटी रिलेटेड कोई चीजें पढ़ना चाहते हैं, यू कैन जस्ट सी दोस पॉलिटी रिलेटेड पोर्शंस. सो करंट अफेयर्स, माय सेंस दैट यू शुड ऑलवेज make notes of current affairs on loose sheets and have a file जिसमें बीच में वो 2 छेद होते हैं, and you can make those pin holes and place those sheets according to the way you read. So what will happen is, जब आप 6 महीने 7 महीने 8 महीने न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते हैं, आपके पास एक अच्छा रिपोजिटरी मटेरियल का बनेगा जो आपने खुद लिखा होगा. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, दे कीप पेपर कटिंग्स. दैट्स एक्चुअली वन ऑफ द वर्स्ट वेज ऑफ रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स. जब आप पेपर कटिंग करते हैं, इसका मतलब आप उस टॉपिक को भी अच्छे से नहीं पढ़ते हैं. यू आर डेफरिंग इट फॉर टुमारो. आज का काम कल पे छोड़ने से वो काम कभी भी कल को नहीं होता है. सो बेस्ट इज मेक योर हैंड रिटन नोट्स. आप फ्लो चार्ट्स बनाइए, पॉइंट्स में लिख लीजिए, इन विचएवर वे इट्स कंफर्टेबल टू यू. डेली न्यूज़पेपर के नोट्स अपने हैंड राइटिंग में बना लीजिए. कीप देम इन अ सॉर्टेड वे. कल को इससे बेहतरीन आपके पास जो है टूल्स नहीं होंगे पढ़ाई के लिए. नाउ न्यूज़पेपर से जो आप इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें पढ़ते हैं, दे आर नॉट ओनली इंपॉर्टेंट कि ये क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली आ जाएगा. दे आर ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट इन द सेंस दैट दे बिकम टूल्स फॉर यू. You can use them in different answers. You can use them as examples in different places. अक्सर फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने इथिक्स का कोई पेपर है, उसमें कोई क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. नाउ जो उसका थियोरी पार्ट है, जो उसका सब्जेक्टिव पार्ट है, दैट इज वेरी सिमिलर. एवरीवन मस्ट हैव रेड दैट. बट व्हाट विल मेक योर आंसर यूनिक, व्हाट विल मेक योर आंसर, यू नो, कि एक टॉपर और एक एवरेज आंसर में डिफरेंस क्या रहेगा. It will not be the subjective information. It will not be that generic information, because everyone has read that. It's going to be these examples that you quote. It's going to be these maybe some facts and figures that you quote. It's going to be some of these important points that you quote, जो आपके पास होंगे because आपने न्यूज़पेपर से उनको गैदर किया हुआ है. So you should use the information that you take from newspapers as a toolkit for you. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि वो क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा. ये जरूरी ये है कि आपके पास वो इंफॉर्मेशन है, आपने खुद बनाई है, you have managed it well. So what will happen is once जब भी कोई ethics का पेपर है, essay का पेपर है, you will use this as the content there. This will make your answers very important. थोड़ा सा एक और एग्जाम्पल मैं देना चाहूंगा. अगर हम लोग कहते हैं कई बार, say we're talking about health issue, say we say that India does not have sufficient number of doctors. Now this is one statement. Another statement is, say, quoting a certain survey, that the doctor to citizen ratio in India is this much in comparison to a WHO standard of this much. Now this gives a depth to the answer, this to the point. This gives a, I would say, a backing to an argument. So you see, जो newspaper में these figures, these facts, these things come repeatedly over a period of time. So it will be very, very useful if you keep track of these. City में हमारी country के broad parameters, जिस तरीके से human body का अगर आप health देखते हैं, you keep blood pressure, you keep pulse rate, you keep say oxygen saturation, you keep track of certain vitals. So वो vitals एक human body का एक overall health को बता देता है. इसी तरीके से अगर आप एक कंट्री की इकोनॉमी को देखोगे तो उस इकोनॉमी के भी देयर आर ब्रॉडर पैरामीटर्स. आपकी इन्फ्लेशन कितनी है, आपके बैंक रेट्स कितनी है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट कितनी है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट कितनी है, डिसगाइज्ड एम्प्लॉयमेंट कितनी है, आपका जो सेक्टोरल ग्रोथ कितनी है, होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स का क्या हाल है, जो है सिमिलरली सीपीआई का क्या हाल है. सो इफ यू लुक एट द एम्प्लॉयमेंट एस्पेक्ट इन अ कंट्री, देयर आर अगेन लॉट ऑफ दीज पैरामीटर्स which can tell you, just like blood pressure and body temperature and say pulse rate, partial pressure of oxygen, etc., tell you the health of the body. Similarly, these parameters can tell you the health of the country's economy. Similarly, there are parameters which tell you the health of the agriculture sector. How much is the per capita income of a farmer? How much increase has happened to an agricultural production of your major crops? How much is the agricultural export? How much is the say इसका जो मार्केट है, मार्केट में क्या क्या हो. इसी तरीके से if you look at the social sector in a country, उसमें भी you have these, I would say, parameters or these barometers जिससे आप social health of a country को भी track कर सकते हैं. क्योंकि हमारा जो काम है, हमारी जो एग्जाम है, it covers your economy, it covers your foreign policy, it covers geography, it covers agriculture, it covers science and technology. It is very important to have this repository of these parameters on all different sectors in the economy with you, on the country with you. Social sector में क्या हमारे child labor का percentage कितना है, कितना कम है. Child mother health की बात है. What is the mortality rate? What is the infant mortality rate? What is the institutional delivery percentage? What is the percentage of anemic women in the country? What is the percentage of children who are wasted? What is the percentage of children who are stunted? What is the percentage of children who are undernourished? Similarly, how much percentage, what is the penetration of lifestyle diseases in the country? कितने लोग obese हैं, कितने percent लोग diabetic हैं, कितने लोग से air pollution की बात करते हैं. Now pollution हम बोलते हैं. Now what has been the impact of pollution? How many people die because of air pollution every day? What is the how much reduction happens because of air pollution in Delhi or any other city? What हमारे air pollution के parameters हैं? There's a so PM10, PM2.5, बाकी parameters हैं. So where are these? क्या normal ranges हैं? Where are these trees? So it's again very important कि आप जो इसको अपने जो हमारी country है, country के अलग-अलग sectors के अलग-अलग aspects के जो ये बैरोमीटर्स होते हैं, जो ये पल्स रेट्स होते हैं, इनको एक अपने छोटे से एक रिपोजिटरी सब नोटबुक बनाएं और इनको नोट करते जाएं, इनको ट्रैक करते जाएं. When you track them, you don't have to, आपको कुछ टाइम के बाद it will naturally come to you कि इन्फ्लेशन रेट कितनी है. You will not have to remember. This will become part of how you look at your country. This is, अब ये information आपको न्यूज़पेपर, ये जो मैगजीन में तो कभी कभी मिलेगी, but न्यूज़पेपर में almost on regular basis you'll be able to also track these information. So it's again, that's why I strongly suggest and recommend that you should read a newspaper every day, make notes on those sheets, then also supplement it with any of the जो है monthly supplement that you have. So ऐसा नहीं करना है कि आप अगर market में जाएंगे, you see 3 magazines, all the 3 magazines for the month of say December will have different content. You don't have to buy 3. You buy only 1 magazine or 1 particular supplement and for the entire year. जो हो सकता है जो किसी एक मैगजीन ने 1 महीने में कवर किया होगा, ये टॉपिक अगला मैगजीन अगले किसी महीने में कवर करेगा. That also happens. But stay consistent with one particular source of material, तो इसको करते जाएं. जो another important point is notes. हम लोग इसको probably this is one of the most underrated or underemphasized aspects in the exam. Books आप for example art and culture आप पढ़ते हो, आपने art and culture की कोई बुक पढ़ी, आपने NCERT बुक पढ़ी, आपने कोई करंट अफेयर्स का कुछ ऑनलाइन से कुछ पढ़ा, क्लास नोट से कुछ पढ़ा. नाउ जब आप अभी प्रिपरेशन फेज में है, यू हैव टाइम दैट यू कैन रीड दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक फ्रॉम 5 different sources or 3 different sources. बट जब आप आगे एग्जाम की तरफ जाओगे, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिवाइज दीज 5 different sources. So it is very critical you make notes from these 5 different sources, then have only one integrated consolidated source of information for you, जिसको आप फिर रेगुलरली रिवाइज करते जाएंगे. सो अभी जितना एफर्ट, जितना मेहनत आप वो नोट मेकिंग में करेंगे, उतना आपके लिए आगे जाके रिविजन्स आपके लिए एग्जाम के जब आप निकट पहुंचेंगे, नजदीक पहुंचेंगे, उतना ज्यादा आपके लिए आसान हो जाएगा. सो नोट मेकिंग अगेन आई थिंक इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. नोट्स में अगर आप नोटबुक में बनाते हैं, डू मेक दिस हैबिट. आपने से हिस्ट्री में रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857 का नोट्स बनाए 5 पेजेस के, लीव अनदर 5 पेजेस ब्लैंक एंड देन गो ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट चैप्टर. फिर आप जब आप किसी बुक से यही फिर से पढ़ते हो या किसी दूसरे सोर्स से सेम चैप्टर पढ़ते हो, जो इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें आपने मिस आउट की हैं, यू कैन नोट देम डाउन इन दीज 5 पेजेस जो आपने ब्लैंक छोड़े हैं इस चैप्टर के बाद. सो सब्सिक्वेंटली व्हाट विल हैपन इज, जब आपने साल भर पढ़ाई की, आपकी नोटबुक विल बी सफिशिएंट, इट विल हैव एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम एवरी सोर्स. और आप ये चीज ध्यान रखेंगे कि यू विल नेवर गेट टाइम टू रिवाइज दोज बुक्स अगेन एंड अगेन. So note making is again something that I would strongly recommend. Now, I think the final point is answer writing and practicing questions. Prelims के लिए सबसे पहले, prelims में हमारे 100 क्वेश्चन होते हैं जनरल स्टडीज में. My sense is that in general इसमें 100 में से 25 क्वेश्चन ऐसे होते हैं जो हर किसी को आते हैं. Then there are another 20 to 25 questions जो hardly किसी को आते हैं. बीच में द गेम इज ऑफ दैट मिडल 35-40 क्वेश्चंस जो किसी ने पढ़े होते हैं, किसी ने नहीं पढ़े होते हैं, किसी ने अच्छे से पढ़े होते हैं. अब इन क्वेश्चंस में क्या होता है कि यू गेट स्टक विद ऑप्शन ए था, इज इट 1774 और इज इट 1776. यू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड विद द ऑप्शंस. आपको यू गेट दिस फीलिंग मैंने पढ़ा है बट you get that doubt, और उस चक्कर में आप उसको गलत कर देते हैं. Now prelims के लिए the sure short way to score good in prelims is to do thousands and hundreds of questions in every chapter. So इस समय आपके पास, if you take the if you see the notes, if you see the books also, if you see the coaching material also, or in the market also, you find question banks for each and every chapter. You should practice questions irrespective of how much you have read, irrespective of how much you have prepared. अपने questions को बहुत ज्यादा जो आप practice करें ताकि आपकी accuracy बेहतर हो सके, आपकी understanding बेहतर हो सके. question से हमेशा वो बेहतर होता है. Similarly जब आप mains में आते हैं, mains is all about answer writing. आपके दिमाग में कितना ज्ञान है, this would not matter. What will matter is how much you are able to write in the exam and how to the point you are able to write the exam. For example, I say अगर कोई question है, the question is, has Indian agriculture reformed in past decade? This could be a question. Now, this question is not on agriculture. This question is not on reforms. The question is, has it reformed or not? So कई बार हम लोग क्या करते हैं, has Indian agriculture reformed in past 1 decade? We write a whole one page on Indian agriculture is this. The question is not about Indian agriculture. The question is about the reform. Has it reformed or not? If it has, then you cite, okay, this is how the reform has happened. This is how the reform has happened on the production side. This is how the reform has happened by way of introduction of new varieties. This is how the reform has happened in terms of agricultural practice. This is how the reform has happened in terms of agricultural marketing. This is how the reform has happened in terms of, say, other aspects of agriculture. Not about writing a whole essay on the agriculture is this, no, definition of agriculture. He's not asking about definition of agriculture. So आपने पूरा पढ़ा होगा, but question है, how do you ensure that you write it to the point question? You write what is required, what is being asked. So if I have to put it this way, you don't have to write what you know. You have to write what is being asked. And there's a huge difference between the two. And how do you go from this situation A to situation B? It happens only if you practice questions a lot. If you do answer writing practice a lot. Similarly, जब आप एग्जाम में देखते हैं आपको 20 क्वेश्चन लिखने हैं या 25 क्वेश्चन लिखने हैं, 3 घंटे का समय आपके पास होता है. So how do you write 200 words in those 7 minutes or 9 minutes? How do you ensure that you don't miss any questions? अगर 20 क्वेश्चन में से 15 क्वेश्चन आपने बहुत बढ़िया कर दिए, 5 छोड़ दिए, you are simply out of the race. Now, how do you ensure you write all the 20 questions? And how do you ensure that the quality of your 19th question is as good as the quality of your question number 2? वो तभी आता है जब आप प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. You should practice both your individual जो है multiple these questions chapter wise and also full length papers. That's something that's going to be extremely useful for you. और इसके बाद में, you know, there's maybe I'll close it with this, that, you know, there's not much in our hands. One thing that's in our hands is always the hard work and a sincere work. So वो अपनी तरफ से give your 100% and rest. Selection होता है, well and good, नहीं होता है, like this is not the end of the world. बहुत सारी और चीजें हैं जो की जा सकती हैं, but one should always try to do it in a best possible and focused way. Thank you.
Thanks, Athar. By listening to Athar, I can say one thing. मेरे को पुरानी कई कपलेट्स याद आ जाते हैं कि जहां रहेगा वहीं रोशनी लुटाएगा, किसी भी चिराग का अपना मकान नहीं होता. और सेल्फी निकालना तो सेकंडों का काम है, वक्त थोड़ी सी इमेज बनाने में लगता है. So basically, Dr. BN Ramesh was to be there, but I could not connect him. So I'm bringing Dr. BN Ramesh sir. He is ex-DGP and 1988 batch IPS officer. So Ramesh sir, over to you. You can be, and also, and also I'm having deeply sincere sorry for the students who could not join. With the assistance of Degree College Bemina, we can have separate doubt session also. And meanwhile, when Dr. BN Ramesh sir is speaking, you can post your comments, the questions in the comments. We will be reading it. Though we are having the experience of all the questions that you may ask. In the last, we will try to give you the gist of all the things that are related to the question with regard to the civil services preparation. So over to you, Ramesh sir.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I visible?
Yes, just.
I am visible to myself.
Yes, you are visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Ishaq Saab, and thank you, Athar Amir Khan Saab. When I heard Athar Amir Khan Saab as well as Professor Ishaq Saab, I was very happy because Kashmir is at the core of my heart. I worked there in Kashmir for nearly 3 years, 2010, September, October onwards till 2013 as IG operations in the CRPF. Kashmir is one of the best jobs that I did in my life in policing. So I do, and when I see the names of all the students, I remember on the Bemina College, which I visited many times, because it used to be the in between the CM's. This is the police control room as well as my headquarters at Jeevan Hills. So the Bemina used to be there in the downtown area, there's other areas. So I used to be there, and there used to be some of our units also nearby. So I'm extremely happy that I've been called here. And since this matter has already been dealt very elaborately by my young friend, Mr. Khan, I would like to just add a few, not add a few, but some important versions, because those of you who are there, who are the new students who wants to write the civil services, you must be having some idea about this, which Mr. Khan has elaborately discussed. I don't think it is possible for any one of us or any one of you to have such a time from an IAS officer. He has given such a time for all of you. That means he has a tremendous love and affection for all of you, and is a very selfless civil servant. And I appreciate the kind of time that he has given with the dedication, and his body language informs me that he's a person who is serious about helping all of you, and not because he has already reached this pinnacle of success and he enjoys that. It's not like that. He would like to share his experiences genuinely. And I'm sure with having experience of some 40 years in public life, I can assure you that Mr. Amir Khan is going to be an asset to Jammu and Kashmir people as an able administrator. And I wish him all the very best in his endeavor. Now, coming to the main point, my young friends, please pay a little attention. My request to all of you, which some 20 points I'm going to discuss, each point maybe around a minute or so. And these 20 points are in addition to what my previous speaker spoke to you. First is extremely essential is you must have tremendous willpower. He was talking about marathons. I would like to show here the medals that I won in marathons. I've nearly ran some 100 marathons, and the fitness that I got from Kashmir, having fought in Kashmir areas, that fitness remained with me. And not only that, the cyclothon also I did. I'm a super runner. Why I'm saying is that if you have willpower, age is no factor. In fact, all of you are younger generation people. You have a lot of energy in you. So combined with your willpower and energy, you can convert yourself as an asset to yourself. What is willpower? Willpower is nothing but having a will and a power, and both contributing towards you, making you from a small I to a big I. That's what willpower means. So willpower is extremely self-respect in expression. आदमी का अंदर में जो आत्मविश्वास है, उसी आत्मविश्वास को बहिरावत करने की बात ही होती है विल पावर की, संकल्प बल की, जो आपका पास है. इसलिए 96 पीपल अभी हमें सुन रहे हैं. It itself shows that you have willpower. This is the starting point. I congratulate all my sons and daughters, 96 of you, and I know you will be doing extremely well in the days to come. I'm sure about it, because this is the starting point. You all like yourself. You all want to do very good in life. That's why you are in front of me. This is the starting point. Second point is, I would like to tell you, is excellence. What is excellence? Excellence is, all of you must have been doing some kind of, feeling of excellence. Somebody get a medal, somebody being appreciated, somebody's, handwriting is very good, being appreciated. Some excellence God has given in all of us. There's not a single human being who doesn't have excellence. So we are all excellent. But point is, we have to use that spirit of excellence in guiding us to reach our goal. That's why you always retain the excellence in one or two fields you have and extend it towards first field, that is willpower, so that you can achieve your goal. So second point is excellence. One more thing about excellence is, excellence को जो हम appreciate करेंगे कि हमारी अंदर में जो excellence है उसको भी हम अपना पास रखेंगे, दूसरों में भी जो excellence है उसको भी हम appreciate करेंगे, ताकि हमारी बीच में jealousy का factor नहीं रहेगा और हम जहां भी excellence है उसको हम अपनाने की कोशिश करेंगे. इसलिए excellence will keep us as a good human beings also. The third one, most important, is self-respect. आत्मविश्वास एवं आत्मस्थैर्यता. What is self-respect? Without self-respect, my dear sons and daughters, you will not be able to sustain the labor that is required to get a government job in this country. Be it JK Police Service, be it JK Administrative Service, or be it Indian Union Police Service or a Staff Selection Commission. To get a government job, you should have lot of self-respect. That self-respect only will make you first to get selection into selection into the job, and later on to serve the country with full selection, with full honor and respect. Because what is self-respect? If I ask you, somebody asked me the self-respect. Self-respect to me means how do I assess myself? मैं खुद अपने आप को कितना मार्क्स देता हूं? मैं अपने आप को कोसता हूं क्या? मैं अपने आप को प्यार करता हूं क्या? जो मुझे, मैं खुद अगर अपने आप को इज्जत नहीं करता हूं तो किसी और को भला कैसा इज्जत करूं? संविधान को कैसे इज्जत करूं? नेशनल फ्लैग को कैसे इज्जत करूं? तिरंगा को कैसे इज्जत करूं? वो आईएएस जो अपना आमिर खान साहब जो बहुत मेहनत करके आईएएस जो टैग उन्होंने अर्जन किया, उस आईएएस को क्या इज्जत करूं मैं? इसलिए स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट इज्जत है. हमको आईएएस बनना है, आईपीएस बनना है, या जेके पुलिस सर्विस बनना है, या सरकारी मुलाजिम बनके देश को सेवा करना है, हमारी जम्मू एंड कश्मीर जनता को सेवा करना है. इस सद्भावना जब अपनाते हैं और उस अपना के साथ साथ हमारी सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट हमारी पास रहती है, हम सिस्टम्स को हम इज्जत करेंगे और सिस्टम का साथ साथ हम अपनी जो सीनियर सर्वेंट्स हैं उसको भी इज्जत करेंगे. जो भी मेहनत करते हैं, मेहनती लोगों को भी हम इज्जत करना सीखेंगे. इसलिए सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट इज डिसिप्लिन. Without discipline, perhaps you will not be able to do anything big, because discipline is what? Discipline is nothing but self-respect, excellence, willpower in action. ये सब आइडियाज हैं. उस आइडियाज को हम कार्यारूपण करने वाले जो सिद्धांत है उसी को हम डिसिप्लिन कहते हैं. What is discipline? The discipline is the difference between how a policeman or how a security personnel or how number one student in the college differentiates himself with others. Discipline is consistently repeating the same thing with full dedication, more dedication next time than when I started. Discipline is nothing but self-respect in consistent day-to-day existence and day-to-day execution. That's how I define discipline. Discipline is nothing but a kind of continuous excellence, continuous flow towards excellence. So that's what you should do. Next is identity. What is your identity? Today, I'm in front of me, Mr. Akib Javid, Mr. Ayat Ali, and Mr. Adar Sabib, Mr. Amban Atraf. So many, I can see the names. And so many girls are also there, my daughters. What is your identity? My identity is, I'm a student of some college. I'm a son of somebody. I'm a daughter of somebody. But that identity is a starting point. What is the best identity? The best identity is towards making ourselves into identity of my country, identity of my province, identity of my community, identity of being the darling of my people. जब मेरे अपनी प्रांत की लोग मुश्किल में पड़ते हैं, मुझे याद करें कि मेरे पास आए. वो है एक जो जिसका पास जाने से हमारी समस्या की समाधान की चाबी मिल जाएगी. उसका पास चाबियां हैं. क्यों? वो चाबी एक दिन में नहीं बनाया, वो बहुत दिन की मेहनत की, अपनी मेहनत से वो चाबियां बनाई. उसका पास चाबी, ऐसा चाबियां गुत्ती हैं जिसका चाबी से हर एक ताला खुलता है. That is where your identity comes into picture. Ultimately, when you get a government job, when you become an IAS or an IPS officer, when you become a vice chancellor or a principal, what are you going to do? Are you only merely earning salary? Are you enjoying the power? No. These are all services. Indian administrative service, Indian police service, Indian audit and accounts service, JK police service, JK administration service. What is service? Service is seva. Seva is giving yourself to you, and that second you is a plural you. It's all. It's not only me. It's the entire community. यानी हम सैलरी लेते हैं सरकार से खाली अपने आप को जिंदा रखने के लिए. वो सैलरी हमारे लिए कॉम्पेंसेशन नहीं है. हम कोई प्राइवेट सेक्टर के मुलाजिम नहीं है. हम जो सेवा करते हैं, सरकार हमें तनख्वाह देती है. वो तनख्वाह हमें नेक्स्ट डे भी काम करने के लिए। तनख्वाह हमारे लिए ये काम नहीं है कि हमारी कंपनसेशन है। कंपनसेशन हमारी क्या है? सर्विस में, सरकारी सर्विस में आत्मानुभूति है, आत्मानंद है, सेल्फ एंजॉयमेंट है, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन है, ताकि हमारी सेवा के माध्यम से हमारी अंतर्लीन शक्तियां जो हम अपना कम्युनिटी का साथ आइडेंटिटी करते हैं, हम दूसरों के आंसू को बहाने बुझाने में हमें आनंद मिलती है, दूसरों की समस्या शामिल करने में हम दूसरा बन जाते हैं और हमारे लिए दूसरा बोल के कोई है ही नहीं। इस सिद्धांत को दुनिया में ऐलान करना ही सेवा कहते हैं हम। और उस सेवा की अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको मिलेगी जब आप सरकारी संस्थान में अपनी मेरिट के साथ, अपनी इज्जत के साथ, किसी ने दया करके आपने नहीं बैठाया, आपने अपनी बाजुओं की क्षमता से, अपनी दिमाग की क्षमता से आपने वहां बजा के बैठा है। उस सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट, उस डिसिप्लिन, उस एक्सेलेंस, उस आइडेंटिटी, उस डिसिप्लिन, उस विल पावर, जैसा मैंने पहले पॉइंट बताया, उस आइडेंटिटी का साथ आपको करना है। दिस इज द फिफ्थ पॉइंट। सिक्स्थ इज अर्ली बर्ड इंसेंटिव। टुडे, maybe because of the university, maybe because of the initiative taken by your principal, Mr. Ishaq Saab and others, today you are all there in front of us. You are starting early bird. What is early bird incentive? Why we call it early bird incentive? Morning shows the day. When as a person, if you start learning about your country, about your community, you learn about yourself. Without your country, without your community, without my country, without my community, I am nothing. I am nothing. When I know this, I mean what? I know about myself. I can only know about myself only when I know my country. That means me and my country and knowing are same. When I do this, I'll be doing. So this is an early bird incentive. I congratulate all of you for having come prepared early. Next is, of course, you have to go to the books that are available by the government itself. You don't have to go to any private person. The government of this country is kind enough to give you a Constitution of India at 300 rupees, NCERT books at 50, 60 rupees. They're available. National Council of Education, Research and Training. Beautiful, extraordinary books. You can know about this country, word by word, edition by edition, event by event, history, geography, economics, commerce, ecology, biology, philosophy, everything. And very, very, very nominal cost. Because in our government of Bharat, हमारी सरकार हमारा साथ व्यवसाय नहीं करते है साहब। हमारी सरकार हमारा साथ सेवा करती है, क्योंकि सरकार हम ही है सरकार। सरकार कहीं न्यूयॉर्क या लंदन से हमारे ऊपर थोपा नहीं गया है। इसलिए हमारे जितना भी किताबें हैं, हमारे संविधान है, हमारे जितना भी है, सरकारी माध्यम से हमें मिलती है। वो कोई कमर्शियल व्यवसाय के नाम से नहीं मिलता, बहुत ही सरल दाम में मिलता है। उसको आप बनाए, अपने से स्टार्ट कीजिए। देश को जानिए, भारत को जानिए, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर को जानिए, अपने को जानिए। उनको जाने से माध्यम से अपने आप को जब जानेंगे, you will be able to do better. Next point is, you have to choose one option. My recommendation to all of you is, whichever optional subject which is comfortable to you, which you enjoy, which you like, which you think knowing that subject or reading that subject is not any punishment to you. Supposing some person is very good in political science. He must take political science as his optional so that he will excel in that. I was very good in political science. I chose political science. In my days, I topped the political science in the UPSC. I'm an engineer, but I loved political science. Similarly, some of you may be knowing biology, very good, zoology and biology. Take that subject which you love it. When you read going on reading without tiresomeness. और भी जानना की इच्छा जब जागती है, लगातार जागती रहती है, उस सारा सब्जेक्ट को आप चुन लीजिए, ताकि आप पढ़ने में आपको कोई कष्ट ना फील हो, ओनली सुख फीलिंग हो। Somebody is very good in mathematics, somebody is very good in physics. Take that kind of subjects. So that is about optional. Second one is about UPSC reforms. Fortunately, you are all very lucky when compared to, even including Mr. Ahmed Saab, Mr. Amir Khan Saab. He is also very lucky because today UPSC has reformed so much so that anybody can come and compete. Earlier during our days, there used to be 2 optionals. Preliminary used to be an optional, then general, all these things is there. Today, anybody can compete without any so-called background. Anybody can become topper also, provided you have the dedication, because only one optional is there. The remaining 4 general subjects and general essay, which comprises around 250 into 4 and 275 and interview is another 250. All these marks is only one optional. Optional has got 2 papers. In other words, optional contribution to your success is hardly 1/6 of the entire thing. So general knowledge is extremely important. General knowledge comes to you when you have a general. What is general knowledge? General knowledge means general awareness. General awareness. There's a lot of difference between knowledge and awareness. Knowledge may be statistics, knowledge may be facts. Awareness is capability of interpretation of those facts, so that you know what is the importance of that fact, when to use that fact. So awareness is something which is more than the knowledge. It is something bordering on wisdom. So I will call it as general wisdom. General wisdom will be sharpened when you read more and more number of books. So there is an incentive for you to read more and more books, this new system of UPSC. In a way, I will say we were lucky because we were focused. 2 optionals. Today, your general knowledge, general awareness is extremely vast. So those of you who are starting in front of me today, who are starting at the degree level itself, you have got a tremendous scope to increase your knowledge, because you have got 6-7 years of time to write your preliminary examination, or 5 years of time to write your preliminary examination. So the 5 years means more than 1800 days. 1800 days, if you read at least 1 book for 18 days, you can read more than 100 books. And reading a book means remembering the book, not a novel. You don't read and make a notes of every book that you read. Making notes is extremely important. It's a note. What is the difference between reading and noting? People say reading makes a nice person, but writing makes an exact man. You write one essay, it is equal to 10 times reading. So that's why answer writing, book writing, as well as thesis, gist writing is important. What Mr. Amir Khan said was extremely important. You don't keep the newspaper cuttings. You keep the newspaper cuttings on your brain. And you read this pick and make it. You have to be a good librarian. You know where these root sheets are being kept. So I suggest to you, which I followed. I used to use 3 kinds of inks, pen. One is blue, which I used to very rarely use. Black is my normal pen. This thing, use also black and red. Blue, black, red, and ultimately green. Green, you use it for pointing. Black, you use it for daily writing. Blue, you use it for priority writing. And green for making all of them to be in different places. Make a diary where you kept all these things. Keep 20 major notebooks, all the covering 20 general study topics: ecology, economy, international affairs, national affairs, politics, Constitution of India, Constitution and political events, economic events, current events, again, pollution control, agriculture, and banking reforms, financial reforms, budget, history, geography, anthropology, international economy, International Monetary Fund, IBRD, International Bank and Reconstruction Development, international events. Like this, there are 20-25 major topics. Maintain these 20-25 files and keep on adding these materials into the date-wise. Make a logbook, make a sheet, introduction sheet, and write it down. These are your treasures. This is your property. Always keep this property very, very carefully till the time you complete. And after completion also, you keep it because it's going to be a good memory to you. Next is about jobs. If you have any work experience, nothing like it in civil services. Because if you are a student, mere student, you will not be able to do very successfully in all the parts, because if you have a working experience, that work experience will sharpen your answers. So work experience, if you have, you welcome that. Next is about your dedication. Dedication towards your optional, dedication to your subject. Civil services is not a choice. It's not a probability. It's not a game. It's not a gamble. Those who are dedicated, they will get. No doubt about that. Somebody told me long back, there is always a vacancy at the top. There is no vacancy at the bottom. But there is always a vacancy at the top. You have to go to the top. How do you go to the top? Going to the top means going against the gravity. हम जाएंगे, रसगुल्ला खाएंगे, फेसबुक करेंगे, वे करेंगे, वो करेंगे, सिनेमा देखेंगे, डांस करेंगे, और उसके बाद सिविल सर्वेंट भी होंगे. Impossible है. Impossible. You have to sacrifice, you have to shed all this single pointed focus, जैसा कमांडोज की फोकस होती है जब ऑपरेशन में जाते हैं, do or die kind of thing, that kind of dedication you require. Only then you will get into this. That's why there is vacancy at the top. You have to be Darwin. You have to be either you are a Darwinian or a Darwan, either of them. Darwinian means what? Survival of the fittest. You have to be a very fit person. You have to be very fit physically, mentally. So many stumbling blocks will come. You may fail 4 times the preliminary examination. 5th time you may get, you may top the country. There are many instances wherein 4 times people failed the preliminary exams. 5th they cleared prelims, mains, and topped the interview and become IAS. There are many instances. So you must be consistent into your efforts. Every general candidate is allowed 6 attempts. OBC candidate is allowed 9 attempts. For our scheduled caste, scheduled tribe brothers, there are no unlimited attempts are there. So you can continue that attempts, but provided you should have a backup also, in the sense, don't be totally dependent on one attempt, another attempt, because your colleagues will be settling down in life. That will be creating a lot of trauma to you. So that is important. Next is a trial. Yes, you have to be practicing the sessions. You have to do mock sessions, both preliminary, mains, as well as interview. Everything has to be practiced. Practice makes perfection. So don't take chance event. You have to go on doing practicing all that. 13th point is, please remember, please write down what I'm saying. It's very, very important. Most of you might not have heard this in your lifetime. I'm sure most of you might not have heard. If any one of you heard it, kindly let me know that you heard it. I'll be very happy. This statement is written in National Police Academy, and I knew it long back, but it was written in the National Police Academy. Winners are never quitters. Quitters are never winners. In other words, those who want to win their aim, they will never quit in between. There is a Sanskrit saying also which says, Adama, start it. The people who are at the bottom, they start, but they will not even start. Madhyamam, start and leave it. Uttamam, start and reach. That is, the top man start an initiative and reach the manzil. मंजिल को पहुंचना अपना हाथ में है, और अपना हाथ अपना है, किसी और की नहीं है. यानी हमारी अपनी ये दिल है, हमारी अपनी ये ख्वाहिश है, हम इस मंजिल तक हम पहुंचेंगे. इसके लिए जितना भी मेहनत की जरूरत है, उससे ज्यादा मेहनत करेंगे हम. ये ख्वाहिश, ये संकल्प हमें लेना है, सौगंध ऊपर वालों की. उस तरह लेके हम जब जाएंगे, then only we will be able to. So you should, winners are never quitters. You will not quit in between. You will go on. Quit means what? Quit means leaving in between. अच्छा, एक बार ट्रायल किया, नहीं मिला, कर दिया, खत्म. There ends the matter. Because when once you quit it in between, that have a tremendous impact on your self-respect. अरे हमने छोड़ दिया, एक और बार मेहनत करने से अच्छा होता, ये खोसना जिंदगी भर रहेगी आपकी. उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए never quit it in between. Go on doing it. Because it is the toughest competition in the world. लोग बोलते हैं IIT, मैं तो IIT BN में हूं, IIT खड़गपुर से हूं मैं. लोग बोलते हैं IIT का toughest है, IIT toughest है at that level. But this is toughest examination in the world. IIT may be toughest in India. This is toughest in the world. Not now. It was there toughest when Indian Civil Services was written. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose stood 4th in India in ICS. He continued because he loved India. He loved Indian independence struggle. He resigned and came back. In those days itself, 120, 30, 40 years ago also, it was very, very tough. Indian Civil Services. It still is there. In those days also, it used to be called Indian Civil Services. So it's the toughest examination in the world. Those of you who pass this and become IAS or IPS officers, you may consider yourself as the best in the world. So to be the best in the world, you have to give the best preparation also. So never quit in process. Next is, of course, 14th point, enjoy acquisition of knowledge. देश के बारे में जितना जानोगे. I show you this book. This book I ordered 3 days ago in Amazon. The name of the book is Exercise of Power by Robert M. Gates. Robert M. Gates was the Defense Secretary of the US. Those of you who are going to opt the civil services political science, I recommend this book to read. Because this man was Defense Secretary. He was a former CIA director. He has described 15 such operations, including Iraq, USA war, and so many other things, Afghanistan and other issues. So you have the practical knowledge. So you should read books. You should acquire knowledge. At this age, I am reading and enjoying. Knowledge and age are nowhere related. And knowledge has no limit. Sky is the limit for the knowledge. Go on reading, go on appreciating, go on applying. Appreciate, apply, and acquire. Three A's. A. This goes with the knowledge. Remember this point. Next point is, of course, at least I have a list of at least 100 books. I have a very big library. Those of you who wanted me to share with you, I certainly will share. You can read these books slowly, because whether you become an IAS officer or not is immaterial. But this 100 books knowledge will make you the best in whichever field you go. I assure you one thing. Yes, for every 10,000 people who prepare for the examination, maybe 2 or 3 will get it. The remaining 9,998 people also will get some benefit. They will excel in their own fields. When you enter a private sector, in this knowledge is not going to waste. It will be helpful to you. So acquire knowledge for knowledge's sake. Civil services is a bonus. But knowledge is for its own sake. Acquire that. Next is maintain physical fitness. Without a physical good body, you can never have a good mind. Without good mind, you will not be able to read well. So maintain good physical fitness, everyday exercise, because self-respect, I told you, unless you love yourself, you can't detoxify yourself. Physical fitness is nothing but daily detoxification. At least run for 4-5 kilometers a day, do exercises, keep your physical fitness absolutely kind. Quit all the bad habits, smoking नहीं करते हैं कश्मीर की जनता मैं जानता हूं, लेकिन फिर भी अगर कोई बैड हैबिट हो तो उसको छोड़ना है. Next is, of course, maintain. Next is, be self-reliant. Don't be dependent on others for your notes, books. अरे तुमने ये नोट लिखा क्या? तुमने वो नोट पेपर पढ़ा क्या? तुम कुछ दोगे क्या मुझे? ये उधार से नॉलेज नहीं मिलता है साहब. उधार से कुछ नहीं मिलता. उधार से जो भी मिलता है वो राबड़ियां हैं. हमारे नेता लोग तो जानते हैं जिस तो करते हैं. करप्शन है. जो भी उधार में मिलता है वो करप्शन है. So don't go for the freebies. Get into. There is one railway coolie who worked in Thiruvananthapuram railway station, who used the the internet free facility in Thiruvananthapuram railway station, and who cracked and who became a civil servant. He is the example. There are so many struggling hard who has that willpower. You can also follow them. I'm not saying that you need to be a railway coolie. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, irrespective of your position, you can always excel. There is always a vacancy at the top. Next, 18th point is, forgive me for saying this. If you promise that you forgive me for saying this, then only I'll say. That is, no Facebook, no YouTube, no social media. If you are addicted to this, you will never become a civil servant. Facebook, हमारे पास अच्छा फेस है, हमारे साथ में बुक है, हमारी फेसबुक. नंबर 2, YouTube नहीं है, माई ट्यूब है. किसी और की ट्यूब देखने से हमें कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. हमारी अपनी क्या है. नंबर 3, इंटरनेट से, गूगल से IAS कोई बना आज तक इतिहास में नहीं है. वो हार्ड वर्क से बनता है. और एक बार जाओगे इंटरनेट में, वो पद्म व्यू जैसा है, चक्रव्यूह जैसा बाहर नहीं आ पाओगे. और इंटरनेट में हर एक का पीपीटी है, स्लाइड शेयर है, चैट जीपीटी है. चैट जीपीटी बन के अगर आप IAS बनना चाहते हो तो कभी भी ये ख्वाब मत देखना. ओरिजिनलिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अपनी है, अपना सिग्नेचर. चैट जीपीटी कैन नॉट डुप्लीकेट योर सिग्नेचर. यू हैव टू बी देयर. Next point is 19th point. No distraction. No distraction means I will not allow myself to be distracted. ये 12 घंटा हर एक दिन मैं अपने लिए दूंगा. कॉलेज भी जाऊंगा, पढ़ाई भी करूंगा, 12 घंटा दूंगा. अपना फैमिली के साथ अच्छा रिलेशन मेंटेन करूंगा. I will be very good करूंगी. I will be very good I will be very good human being. I am a good son. Please remember my famous quotation. A bad son can never be a good father. A bad student can never be a good teacher. And a bad soldier can never be a good general. You maintain good relations with your parents, with your brothers, with your teachers. You respect the teachers. You respect the institutions. You respect the national flag. You respect the constitution. You respect the authorities. You respect the law, the rule of law. Because you are going to be law-abiding, law-enforcing civil servant. Civil servant means the law in action. Last point, 20th point. I would like to show this to you. This, you may not be able to see it, but still I have a 10-point story. Actually, it was a 7 story. I added 3 more stories today. and that is Sarigama Padani, and again 3 more I added. First is the most powerful thing that can happen is the idea whose time has come. Today you have got that idea that you want to become a civil servant. You are very powerful. Start with that. Second is obtain data from that. Third is convert that data into a knowledge. Make the notes. Apply the notes as a 3A policy, A-cube thing that I told you. Apply it and convert into wisdom and convert into a standard operating procedure. This is the 5th step. Standard operating procedure. Repeat and repeat. Learn, relearn, go on. Next is ideology. This and ideology. What are the ideas that you have noted down? Third one, last is religion. The way we have that dharma with us, we have respect of religion, whichever religion you belong to. That respect which you have, that respect must be there with dedication. 7th step is religion. 8th step is dharma, virtue. 9th step is truth. Religion, dharma, and must lead to truth. Satyam. What is truth? Truth is absolute. Truth was true. Yesterday it was truth. Today it was truth. Tomorrow it will be truth. It was truth on sun. It was truth on moon. It was truth throughout the cosmos. That is truth. That is the 9th step. And last step is I, me, aham brahmasmi kind of thing. So a small I to 10th I, there are 9 steps in between. That I means IAS. I means IPS. I also means JKPS or JKAS. Service to the people. Identify. I means identifying yourself with the world. Service. जब तक ये है तब तक आप IAS बनोगे, बहुत इज्जतदार से काम करेंगे, रिटायर भी होंगे, रिटायर होने के बाद भी सर्विस करते रहेंगे. जैसा मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में ये मेडल सभी अर्न किया, मैंने आपका कश्मीर से भी काफी मेडल्स मैंने अर्न किया. ये मेरी सरकार ने दिए मुझे, ये मेडल्स मेरी भारत माता ने दिया, और ये मेडल सब मेरी माता ने नहीं दिया. इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूं, सर्विस, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन. This is the only service in the world that gives you the feeling. At 61 years old, I'm a 60 plus person. I've completed 3 PhDs, 1 PDF. I'm now doing 1 more PDF. I'm also professor of law and management at Maharashtra National University. I'm not saying I. It's not important. What I'm saying is this country has given me so much of self-actualization to work in so much difficult areas. This is possible because our country, Bharat, we are proud. An ordinary person can also go on to the top and announce to the world, I am here. I came because I belong to this great country. This country gives me this. Be proud of this country. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the enlightened talk and a good motivation to the students. But I would like to say some more things for the teaching side of the story. That meanwhile, I got many of the questions in the comment box from the students that, the motivation and the inspiration is there to go for the civil service exam preparation. But there are many more facets and domain of life that they have to think that what all things they can do while preparing for civil services so that they can look after themselves and also their family people. वो कहते हैं ना कि सारे के सारे जो हमारे स्टूडेंट हैं since last more than 10 years and thousands of students I have taught, सबके पास पूरे पैसे नहीं होते, नो हाउ नहीं होती, और एक थोड़ा सा कपलेट में भी बोला जाता है कि वो एक गरीब का बच्चा है तो कोई बात नहीं, यदि अमीर का होता तो एक हादसा हो गया होता. जितने भी सिविल सर्विसेज में हम लोग देखते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा एग्जाम्पल हमको मिलते हैं जो बच्चे संघर्ष में रहते हैं, समझते हैं चीजों को, ग्राउंड से जुड़े हुए हैं. उनके पापा जी रिक्शा चलाते हैं, क्लर्क हैं, पियोन हैं, वो सब लोग सिविल सर्वेंट बनते हैं. और आईएएस बनने के बाद सबसे पहले अपने पिताजी के रिक्शे पे जाके बैठ के उनके पिताजी उनको पूरे शहर का चक्कर लगाते हैं कि मेरा बेटा आईएएस बना है. So this crowd, this person will be able to serve better. I am not saying कि values किसी affluent में नहीं होती है, right? Since I am coming also from an affluent class, but कभी मेरी ideology ने मेरे को पूरा का पूरा घर छोड़ने को मजबूर कर दिया कि मैं घर से एक भी रुपया नहीं लूंगा, मैं अपना कमाऊंगा, अपनी तैयारी करूंगा, अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होऊंगा और घर को पता भी नहीं लगना चाहिए. ये एक सेल्फ मेड स्टोरी है जो कि कहीं ना कहीं डिपेंडेंसी रहती है, बट एक उम्र के बाद, एक एज के बाद जो आप लोगों को अपने पास रखनी पड़ती है. दूसरा क्वेश्चन, और बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन जो एसेंस हैं वो ये आते हैं कि आप एक रिमोट स्टेट से बिलोंग करते हैं, कि क्या हमें दिल्ली में जाना जरूरी है, या यहाँ पर भी हमें एक्सपोजर चाहिए है, या हमें किस इंस्टीट्यूट में जाना है जहां पर हम लोगों को अच्छा गाइडेंस वगैरह मिल सकता है। आई टेल यू दैट टीचर इज समथिंग हु इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सिंस बिगिनिंग। वो जो मैडम थी जो ABCD हमें सिखाती थी प्ले हाउस में और नर्सरी में ऑर्केस्ट्रा के साथ, वो याद है, और ABCD भी पूरा आज हमें एकदम लास्ट तक याद है सॉन्ग की तरह। ऐसा ही टीचर जो होता है वो डर खत्म कर देता है। एंड टीचर इज दी वन जो केवल और केवल डर खत्म करने के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है और कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स चीजों को इजी तरीके से बताने के लिए है। एंड आई विल ऑल्सो डिस्क्राइब इट टू मी दैट टीचर कोई सिलेक्शन के पीछे एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन नहीं होता। टीचर बच्चे के मन से डर खत्म कर देता है। सिलेक्शन बच्चे की अपनी खुद की मेहनत से होता है, राइट। सो किसी ऐसे कोचिंग बहुत बड़े गाइडेंस की आपको जरूरत नहीं है, आपके अंदर सब कुछ है, लेकिन करें कैसे, वो रास्ता कौन सा है। जैसे लाइफ ऑफ पाई में सबसे छोटा रास्ता जो है, एक गागर में सागर भरने वाली बात, वहां तक हम लोग पहुंच जाएं, उसके लिए एक टीचर की जरूरत होती है। मुझे भी याद है कि कुछ एक सब्जेक्ट्स मेरे कमजोर रह गए, बिकॉज शायद मुझे बहुत अच्छे टीचर शायद नहीं मिल पाए, ये अनफॉर्चुनेट पार्ट था। तो आज भी मैं स्ट्राइव करता हूँ कि काश ऐसा हो गया होता, और बहुत सारे अच्छे टीचरों की वजह से मेरे को कुछ सब्जेक्ट से मेरे को प्यार हो गया काफी ज्यादा। तो दिस इज हाउ व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि दिल्ली में जाना या किसी मेट्रो सिटीज में जाना, लाइक पर्टिकुलरली दिस स्टेट जहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन बहुत अच्छी है, वाटर क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी है, और बाहर आप निकलते हैं पॉल्यूशन है एंड वाटर क्वालिटी भी उतनी ठीक नहीं होती। यू जस्ट चूज अ प्लेस वेयर इन यू कैन कीप योर हेल्थ इंटैक्ट, राइट। सर ने भी बहुत अच्छी बात की कि हेल्थ को मेंटेन करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, तभी आप पढ़ाई कर पाओगे, नहीं तो बीमार हो जाओगे, फिर फैमिली में आप वापस आ जाओगे। Then I found some of the good places like CCPC here in Kashmir University to address some of your doubts, many of your doubts and all the queries, जहां पर आप जाके एक बार विजिट करके मोटिवेशन भी ले सकते हो, बातचीत कर सकते हो। हम लोगों से जुड़ने के बाद whatever help we can do for you, we can. You can go for any of the preparation for through the coaching, or you can do it at your own. Things are available because there are particular question कि सर हम किस कोचिंग में जाएं या किस इंस्टीट्यूट में जाएं। I am not supporting any one of including that of mine. I tell that coaching is all about the coaches. It is about the teachers. आप टीचर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करिए अच्छे अच्छे। आपके पैसे से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका टाइम और एनर्जी, जो एक बार चला जाता है एक साल, वो दोबारा वापस लौट के आना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है। मोटिवेशन थोड़ा सा पीछे जाने लगता है, और वहीं पर यदि अच्छा टीचर मिल जाता है तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि ये तो बहुत आसान था और इतने मजे के साथ में इतनी अच्छी अच्छी चीजें सीख गए। तो वही बच्चे वाली जो दिल के अंदर एक बच्चा रहता है, तो वो जो अपना फूड मांगता है, यदि वो हमको इंटरेस्ट नहीं आएगा किसी भी चीज में, तो फिर मन करेगा कि हम छोड़ दें। एक क्वेश्चन और आया कमेंट बॉक्स में कि सर फोकस कैसे करें, काफी सारी चीजों को बैलेंस कैसे करें। तो कहते हैं कि भाई जो पेट होता है हमारा, जो घर में पालतू जो भी जानवर होता है, डॉगी है या व्हाटएवर, उसको हम थोड़ा बांध देते हैं जिससे वो डिसिप्लिन में रहे कभी कभी। तो मन को भी पढ़ते वक्त यदि में बांधना है, तो मुझे जो लगता है एक्सपीरियंस है जो मेरे बड़ों से सुनने को आया या मैंने भी कुछ से यूज किया, अब अपने हाथ में पेन या पेंसिल रखिए, कुछ भी पढ़ते हैं कभी भी आप अंडरलाइन करते रहिए या लिखते रहिए। तो वो पेन जो है वो बेसिकली एक तरीके से वो चीज है जहां पे आपने अपना को टाई किया हुआ है, जैसे आप अपने पेट को घर में बांध के रखते हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ज्यादा सब्सटेंशियल इंप्रूवमेंट हो जाएगा आपके फोकस पे, जो भी आप अच्छा करते हैं। And regarding the book list that Athar Amir Sahab has told, that we will be sharing it with you. Some of the important books जो बहुत अच्छी हैं, जैसे NCERT की books होती हैं अच्छी पढ़ने में, we would like to share those things with you. This list is available also in CCPC KU. You may go there and you may call some of the numbers available in the website, right? The numbers have also already been shared, and through the college also we will like to give all the help that the student want. But my only take is that आप यदि कोई पीजी करे हुए हो या ग्रेजुएशन किए हुए हो, गिव अ थॉट कि हमें सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी करनी है, बिकॉज सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी से हमें कंट्री की सेवा तो करनी ही है, बट चैरिटी बिगिंस एट होम। यदि मेरे पेट में भूख लग रही है तो मेरे शरीर में ताकत नहीं होगी, मेरे दिमाग में ताकत नहीं होगी, मैं दूसरे के बारे में थोड़ा उतना बार बार नहीं सोच पाऊंगा। तो ये भी बहुत जरूरी है। सो फॉर दैट आई विल से कि आप ग्रेजुएशन करने के बाद यदि सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी करते हैं, यूजीसी नेट जेआरएफ की तरह आप बढ़ जाते हैं। जैसा कि अभी रमेश साहब बता रहे थे कि पॉलिटिकल साइंस में सबने टॉप किया, पॉलिटिकल साइंस इज वन ऑफ दैट वन, लाइक हिस्ट्री, ज्योग्राफी एंड अदर सब्जेक्ट, जिसमें आप जेआरएफ निकालते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से आपको एक अच्छा अमाउंट थोड़ा थोड़ा मिलता रहता है हर महीने, जहाँ पे आप फैमिली को भी हेल्प करते हैं और अपना भी लुक आफ्टर कर पाते हैं, और आप दूसरी तैयारी भी करते रहते हैं। देन दूसरे कई सारे टीचिंग वाले रास्ते खुलते हैं। देन जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर जो एग्जाम कंडक्ट होते हैं, सारी की सारी चीजें इसके थ्रू खुलती हैं। देन एक सबसे बड़ा फीचर जो सिविल सर्विस एग्जाम में लास्ट मोर देन 10 ईयर से आया है, वो है सी सेट, जिसमें बेसिकली जनरल मेंटल एबिलिटी, जो मिस्टेकनली लोग मैथ या स्टैट्स बोल देते हैं, इट इज नॉट। इसके थ्रू थोड़ा सा मैथ, रीजनिंग और थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश का एक्सपोजर ज्यादा हुआ है, जो कि दूसरे एग्जाम में भी बेसिकली काम आता है। कोई भी आप एग्जाम दो, क्लास 2, नॉन गजेटेड, सब जगह पे काम आता है। तो बेसिकली ऑल इन ऑल आई कैन से दैट गिव अ थॉट टू दिस एग्जाम सीरियसली, बिकॉज जब आप एक एक्स्ट्रा माइल नॉच कवर करते हो तो रियल बैटलफील्ड में आप बहुत इजीली क्रॉस कर जाते हो, अपने कॉम्पिटिटर को एक एज के साथ में बीट कर पाते हो। सो दिस इज व्हाट आई कैन से, एंड अदर क्वेश्चंस आर आल्सो देयर। I will be having a different session, doubt session sometimes if there is a request from the college for those students who could not join because it was a mistake from our part that the technical things are there in this app. So this is so. There are other doubts coming which we will be making a list and definitely we will be reverting back to them. And I will be asking Madam Dr. Abida to come to just say some of the final words before we wind up. And also one more thing I would like to say that जो ship होता है वो हार्बर पे सबसे ज्यादा सेफ होता है, लेकिन ship has not been built or made for that purpose. It has to go into mid of the sea to see the turmoilic water and to just serve that purpose. तो आप उसी शिप की तरह हैं, सबसे ज्यादा सेफ आप अपने घर में हैं जहां पे आप बैठे हुए हैं कंफर्टेबली, लेकिन जब तक आप टर्मोइल में नहीं आएंगे, अपने आप को चैलेंजेस में लेकर नहीं आएंगे, तब तक ना तो आपकी प्रोग्रेस है और ना आपकी लाइफ में आगे बढ़ने की कोई भी चांसेस बनती है। एंड एक लाइन जो है ना वो सभी को पता है कि घर से निकलने के बाद ही बेसिकली जो है मतलब कहीं ना कहीं मंजिल मिलती है, गुमराह तो वो है जो घर से कभी निकलते ही नहीं। So all in all, please give a serious thought to some of the things that you may have, including the civil service exam preparation. And this, your college, CCPC, we are here to help you the way you want. This is what we can say. Dr. Abida, you may come now. Dr. Abida Khan is there. Ramesh sir, would you like to add some of the final words?
Professor Ishaq was trying to say something. Please unmute him.
Yes. Yeah. I have unmuted you.
Thank you very much, Shri Nitin Shivhare ji. Overall, I must say it has been a very heartwarming, very fulfilling and very, very enriching session today. After listening to Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan IAS and CEO Srinagar Municipal Corporation, as well as to Dr. BN Ramesh, former DGP IPS, I must say the foundation has been laid for the students who attended this session today. And they must make good use of this foundation, the seed which has been sown today, and the kind of motivation and inspiration which we have drawn today from these two experts and veterans. Of course, Mr. Amir Athar, being the son of the soil, one of the accomplished achievers of our Jammu and Kashmir, who has made a mark in the civil services by securing second rank at a young age of 23 years. And is serving as a role model for all our youth to achieve and accomplish in life like the way he did. And of course, the service which has been rendered by Dr. BN Ramesh in CRPF, Armed Forces, and the kind of spirit which he has still, even after his retirement, having done 3 PhDs and having done many other degrees, and he was still serving in teaching law, management, and other civil service papers. it's really heartwarming to see, how the achievers, the accomplishers, treat their journeys in their life and how they achieve what they wanted to achieve. So those students of this Abdul Azad Memorial Degree College, Bemina, who are in the group today and who have attended this session, I'm sure they have got the necessary inspiration, the strength, the encouragement to proceed, to march ahead, take up the baton, and achieve their success in life, achieve their goals in life. And I wouldn't add much, anything more than that, what has already been said, and everything has been covered. Dr. BN Ramesh, dwelled deeply on 20 important points, and Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan discussed very, very intricate and very, very important points of how to, meticulously manage things. For example, how to write the notes on loose sheets and how to arrange them in a synchronous manner, in a chronological order. And then, even Dr. BN Ramesh sir said, when you use pens of different colors, you can highlight things of different priority, you can prioritize issues, concerns, and important points. These are very simple points, but very, very important points when you set on your journey to achieve your goal in civil services. These are the things which matter the most, because this has not come from textbook. This is the years of experience. What Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan has experienced himself, what he has faced himself, how he has confronted the different challenges and overcome those challenges and achieved success, and how Mr. Dr. BN Ramesh sir has faced those kinds of challenges throughout his service and has treated his path to this extent that he is now able to guide the civil service aspirants. So this comes from years of knowledge. As they say, spending an hour with a scholar, with a true scholar, is worth reading 100 books. So it was worth reading 100 books today after listening to Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan Sahab and Dr. BN Ramesh sir. So we would like to have more and more such sessions in future for other degree colleges, for other students of our degree colleges. And we at the Center for Career Planning and Counselling, may I inform the gathering here for the information of the students that this center has been established way back in 2004 with the primary mandate of imparting coaching for various competitive examinations, whether it is the IAS or JKS or NEET JEE or NET JRF or banking probationary officers examination or any other examination. First and foremost, we offer coaching for these national level competitive examinations. Then we offer career counseling not only to our own university students, but to all other students, whether they belong to school level or college level or any other university level. And then we also render necessary services in terms of placements, recruitments. We conduct regular campus placement drives, recruitment drives at our institution, and we offer these these placements to our students and other students. And we also try to work on their soft skill development, work and life skill, interpersonal skill, leadership development, and we try to build soft skills in our pass out so that they can face the challenges of the job markets, the contemporary global job markets, which have been very dynamic and changing ever since COVID-19 happened. So this is the mandate which our center has. So I welcome all the students to come over here anytime they feel the need, and we'll be happy to offer any kind of assistance to them, whether it is in terms of career counseling or in terms of placement or in terms of coaching for competitive examinations. And we would like to foster a greater relationship with Abdul Azad Memorial Degree College in future in imparting career counseling as a joint venture. We'll be roping in companies and agencies and organizations like Analyst IAS, who have made up a mark for themselves in this field, who have a good team of reputed, renowned experts, and people like Dr. BN Ramesh, who have served their entire life in this area and have understood the system very well and are in a position to deliver in a very effective manner. So we are constantly in search of such groups and organizations with whom we can collaborate and we can associate ourselves with, so that our students benefit. And as mentioned by Dr. BN Ramesh, we are not, it's not a commercial venture. We are not a profit-making agency. We are here to render service to our nation, to our youth, and so that they can serve the nation in future and fulfill the aspiration, fulfill the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji of Viksit Bharat by 2047. So that is the ultimate goal which we are working towards. And we would like our youth to contribute their bit in this direction by putting all their hard work, by following the footsteps, by following the roadmap which has been outlined by Dr. BN Ramesh sir, and achieving their goals in this direction so that they can also serve their nation in a very significant and effective manner and contribute their bit. Because ultimately what matters, if we have come to this world, we have to leave a legacy behind. It is not just that we have lived our life for our own selves and without giving back anything to our country, to our nation. That is a meaningless life. We have to live a meaningful, fulfilling, enriching, and a very resourceful life wherein we will be able to contribute significantly towards our countrymen, towards our nation, towards our suffering people, and in whatever little or modest way we can, we have to leave a rich legacy behind. So with these words, I am highly thankful to Dr. Professor Nazir Ahmed Simnani Sahab, Principal Government Degree College, Bemina, for allowing us to collaborate for this session. I'm highly thankful to Mr. Nitin Shivhare ji for being very keen and very, showing interest in reaching out to our students and helping them in this direction. He has been meeting me over the past few days, and I have seen that kind of that yearning, that sensation that he wants to contribute and help our youth and help them build a career, help them contribute towards the nation. I'm also thankful to Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan Sahab for interacting with our students despite his very hectic schedule. And I know, he has changed the face of Srinagar city by way of Srinagar Smart City project. And that is a contribution which Mr. Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan has made. And the legacy which he has left behind. Today, we see a Srinagar which is totally different. We see a Lal Chowk, we see many other market areas and other pavements which the shape has been completely transformed and radically changed, and there has been a 360-degree shift in the way the Srinagar Smart City is moving ahead under the able and dynamic leadership of our Lieutenant Governor Shri Manoj Sinha ji and very effective and energetic people like Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan Sahab. We would also like to have more such sessions with Athar Amir-ul-Shafi Khan Sahab in future. I would request him to accept our invitations and requests as and when needed. When we reach out to other college students also, we will be troubling him again and again as all.
I think Professor Geer's internet lagging is there, but taking him further, thanks. And two more things that many of the students who could not join the session, Dr. Abida, please, I will be sending you the recorded session link, so you may pass it on to them. And actually, it was to be a seminar, so I request the Principal Degree College, Bemina Sahab, as and when possible through CCPC, kindly have it done. Professor Geer, I took over from you because your internet lagging was there in between.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Ramesh sir has some more words to add. Please, sir.
प्रोफेसर इशाक साहब, आपने हमारे दिल जीत लिया साहब. आपके जो शब्द हमने सुना है कि हमें कश्मीर में काम करने की इतना अच्छा तजुर्बा है कि I started loving the people and loving the city. I always said 95% of my people in Kashmir are the best. The country should be proud of. And today I said 100% of them are best. By your words, I'm so happy that Atiq Khan Sahab has changed the city. I know the city at the back of my hand. I know the valley also at the back of my hand. And the kind of good words that you speak today gives me an extreme degree of confidence and hope that मेरा सिरताज रहा कश्मीर और हमेशा सिरताज रहेगा. और इस कश्मीर नया वाली भारत की उम्मीदों की एक प्रतीक बन के रहेगा. और 2047 में हम नंबर 1 बनेंगे with the leadership of the Kashmir and Kashmir's being total part of this great Mahan civilization. You give me that hope, sir, with your kind words today. And I'm sure I'll be very, very happy to come and interact with the people of Kashmir once again. I've done 2 times Amarnath Yatra. I always felt Amarnath Yatra is that yatra which makes the rickshaw puller of Allahabad to come and pay respect to his person, to his Shiva in Kashmir by the help of the people of Kashmir. मेरा गुज्जर भाई, मेरा वहां पर भी जितना भी भाई जो लोग हैं, वो लोगों की वजह से, वहां भी कश्मीर के एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की वजह से, गवर्नर साहब की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की वजह से वो कर सकते थे. आज आपकी इस वचन सुन के मुझे इतना तसल्ली हुआ साहब, मेरा कोई शब्द नहीं है कि मैं क्या बोलूं. मैं चंद्रशेखर आजाद की परम भक्त हूं, मैं भगत सिंह की परम भक्त हूं, अशफाक उल्लाह खान की परम भक्त हूं. अशफाक उल्लाह खान मेमोरियल क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट मैंने कश्मीर में करवाई. मैं जानता हूं कश्मीर की आम स्टूडेंट्स मेरा सामने जो रहा है, मेरे चिल्ड्रन लाइक my sons and daughters, they will do very, very well in life. Salutes to you, sir.
So thank you, sir. Dr. Abida, kindly please make a final note, or Principal Degree College Bemina sahab, so then we can